Root pressure. When a plant is carefully severed close to the base of the stem, the sap oozes from the stump. The fluid comes out under pressure, which is called root pressure. Root pressure is of vital significance in plants, for it forces up water against the gravity to the tip of even the tallest plant. Let us observe a root and a part enlarged to show the root hairs. Now let us see what the root pressure actually means and how it is developed. The water and mineral salts absorbed from the soil by the root hairs gradually accumulate in the cortex. As a result, the cortical cells become fully turgid. Under this condition, their elastic walls, being much stretched, exert pressure on the fluid contents and force out a small quantity towards the xylem vessel. Now the cortical cells become flaccid. They again absorb water and become turgid, and the same process continues. Thus, an intermittent pumping action goes on in the cortex of the root, and this gives rise to a considerable pressure. As a result of this pressure, the water is forced into the xylem vessels through the passage cells of the endodermis and the unthickened areas and pits that the vessels are provided with. Besides, the lignified walls of the vessels are also permeable to water. Root pressure is thus explained as the pressure exerted on the liquid contents of the cortical cells of the root under fully turgid conditions, forcing a quantity of them into the xylem vessels and through them upwards into the stem up to a certain height. The gradient of water concentration that exists across the cortex creates a pushing force called root pressure. Let us now perform this activity to understand root pressure. Select a well-watered plant for the experiment. Cut the plant a few centimeters above the soil. Immediately fix glass tubing to it and by means of rubber tubing connect a manometer. Note the initial level of mercury. Gradually, water starts coming out of the cut end of the stem. This rising water raises the mercury level in the manometer. This upward flow of water is due to the heavy pressure from the roots, which is called the root pressure.